listening to KCFB Ferguson, 89.5 The Wave, and this is Fear the Dead Air with your host, JazzHandss.
When civilization ends, it ends fast.
That is right, you are listening to Fear the Dead Air with your host, your friendly neighborhood DJ, JazzHandss, and that is me. And today I am joined with, we just got kind of a two-man team going on right now, and I am perfectly and more fine with that. My good friend, my buddy,
right.
Kaji.
What up, man? What up?
Kaji's in the studio.
I'm pumped up, man. Finally, we getting some interesting things, because I'll be honest with the first ones.
That
was kind of slow.
That is exactly what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was thinking about this epic Fear the Walking Dead episode. Now, if you're new to the show and you don't know what we do, we talk about last Sunday's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode, or last Sunday's epic Walking Dead episode, which is coming the 11th. Season 6 is coming the 11th, and I am so excited. I am so excited for this. But, yes, so spoiler warnings are ahead. If you haven't seen last Sunday's episode. But okay, so finally, yes, it's like you were saying, Kaj, we are now getting into some good stuff. This is kind of what I've been looking for. It still needs to pick up just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
But right now, at the direction where it's going, I really have no doubt in my mind that the season finale is going to leave us hooked and ready for more.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think the season finale is going to do. It was by far their best. Yeah, and yes. I mean, I know last week I was definitely kind of knocking it a little bit, which, by the way, if you've missed last week's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode, you can check us out online at facebook.com/STLDeadAir. That's where I post all the previous shows, so if you happen to miss a week, you can go tune into that and hear what we kind of said about it, because last week I was kind of rather harsh. Just a little bit harsh. Just a little bit harsh on some of the character development. Now kind of just go back. I pretty much just said a little that these characters weren't really giving me anything. I wasn't really feeling anything from them, and I felt that by the third episode, you should care about a character.
Yeah, but that's okay with him. It was the first thing, you know, they start off slow. You start like, is it there? Are they good? And then now, you know, you're starting to see now, like, okay, everything's going, yeah. Yeah, now we're definitely getting into actually some good kind of character vibes, character development, and where these characters should have been kind of in the first place. Yeah. I wish it wouldn't have taken, I guess, 4 episodes to finally get their groove and really make me care about these guys, but they did, and so now I'm really kind of starting to like some of these more characters, especially Madison. But we're gonna get into that a little bit later. So to me, Madison looks like she's kind of getting shocked and really, you know, stable. Like she's drinking a lot right now. Like
yeah, she does seem like she's having a very, very hard time to kind of deal with what's been going on in the apocalypse with the new military going around. And that's kind of what I want to dive into first, because there was a couple stuff in the beginning of the episode that I was right along with. I was like, yeah, this is it. And I guess this is what would actually happen in certain situations like this. But then it was also very kind of weird how this came about. So let's talk about a little bit about Travis.
The first one, I like this. When Travis came out, like, running, like, it was like a normal day, I was like, really? Is he actually running around like it's a normal day, even though like half the people been shot and turning?
That was a very, very weird opening, because it was like that didn't scream more, hey, this is California, than that little scene. You know, it's the zombie apocalypse, but you got Johnny Depp. What was his name? Gosh.
Oh, what's one?
Nick. Yeah, you got Nick.
You still going for Johnny Depp on that?
He looks just like Johnny Depp, and I am not going to not stop. Like, everybody out there, do you think he looks like Johnny Depp? I'll post something during the break, and if you're on and if you're listening, check out facebook.com/STLDeadAir, and you can actually go and like it, and let's see how many likes we actually get if he looks like Johnny Depp or not. Let's do this. Come on now. Let's do this. But we'll do that during the break, so you guys can stay tuned. So, okay. So, anyway, yeah, it was very, very kind of weird. Like the first kind of little transition.
They're jogging, like I said, like it's a normal day. Come to kind of like, what the heck? This is like, If it was me, like, I'm gonna be jogging, I would be freaking out, like, what the hell is happening? We got military, we got army, are we safe? What are we doing? But he just out there just jogging around like it's a normal day.
That's true. That's true. It was really weird. Like, it's like they're acting like it's normal, and that's weird. However, my brother made a really good point, and I like it. It's Travis was smart. Travis is very, very smart because if you get a chance to be in a safe zone for a while, with military feeding you and, you're safe for a while and stuff, why not in the zombie apocalypse work your body out? Work yourself up so that if you aren't with the military, you got to run, you got to jump, you got to be physical, you got to do all this stuff. So that to me, like right there, looking at it that way, it's like, oh yeah, he's smart. He's smart for kind of jogging, keeping healthy.
Safe. Yeah, okay.
Gotta get in shape, doing those push-ups, sit-ups, man, gotta get, jacked and stuff. But it was just kind of very...
And also, what you like the way when Maya saying like this, let's redecorate the house. You do some painting here, I'll make something. What's Travis that we can do, like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed very, like, they were definitely trying, at least this is what I took from it, they were trying very, very hard to kind of not gloss over that there was something wrong with the apocalypse, but ignore it and try to go to their normal lives. And this is something else that I talked about with my brother, where he was just like, he doesn't understand why in the opening when the one military man was reading off, like, you can only do this, don't go towards the gate, and blah 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 blah. And people were like, what are you talking about? When are we going to get power back? When are we going to? And kind of like just kind of bitching about nothing. And to him, he was very like, I don't understand why people are acting that way towards the military. It's like, hey, these people are saving us. They're here. We're safe. I don't know why they would act like that. And I was just like, well, I mean, you got to think about it from this point of perspective, where a lot of these people, like we saw kind of with Travis and with Madison and stuff, that yes, there's walkers out there. Yes, this is a dangerous, dangerous city. However, a lot of people didn't get that. A lot of people, it was just, hey, I woke up and I went to work and there was something going on. It was
That's
weird.
That's true, though, because mostly some people just had no day just watching TV and nothing, know anything about
Exactly. They were just watching TV and all of a sudden their lights go out and they're like, what's going on? And then all of a sudden the military comes up, puts a fence around and says, you can't go somewhere, you have to do this. Like, in that aspect, yes, I would definitely kind of be questioning the military and what they were doing, but because we know that there's something bigger out there, and this is, again, kind of tying back to The Walking Dead, that we know what's going to happen. We know civilization is going to fall.
Oh, yeah. And he said he did, 12 of them, right? He was 12 of those sites.
Yeah. That they were 1 out of 12 safe zones in the city, and I'm wondering if that's going to come into play a little bit later. Like, because there's been some theories that I definitely know Boss Man Paul.
Yeah.
If you know, he's kind of a regular on the show, too. We were talking about it quite a lot, and we were wondering if there are actually 12 zones out there of safety and people are being safe, or if that was just a lie from this little branch of the government to try to keep these little people safe and kind of do whatever they want, So there's some speculation, and I think definitely towards the end, which we're going to get into a little bit later, they start questioning the government a little bit.
And also to me, even how like the government, like, you are the luckiest ones of all to have food, shelter. You could have been shot. You could have been nothing. You had no food on nothing.
It almost sounds a little bit like what's the word I'm looking for, Kaj? It's when you're Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm. Yeah.
When you're captive, when you start kind of identifying with the captive, or you start sympathizing with the people that are holding you kind of captive. I kind of feel like it might be like that a little bit, where these military men are kind of guilting them just a little bit. Like, hey, look, we don't have to be here. You're some of the luckier ones. So you're going to listen to us blindly. You got that?
I got that,
So, I mean, there's definitely different kind of takes you could do and what the military's actual motives are. But
to me, it's the military. I feel like they're not saying that they know what's happening, but they're trying to keep some of the, what they know secret, like, trying to keep them in the dark as much as possible.
Yeah, well, because it's like you said, they are trying to keep them in the dark, and I do see them definitely trying to keep these people in the dark because they don't want widespread panic. And if you can manipulate people and tell them that it's going to be okay, it's going to be fine, don't worry, it'll be okay, just listen to us. Because we're scared and we don't know what's going on out there. So stay without, whatever. So I think definitely they're keeping some of the people in the blind, and if they somehow, if it did come out that there's not 12 safe zones, it's just them, they lost contact with the bigger military, and they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, pretty much. I also want to know what happened to Doug. I mean, I know he was panicking, he had a family, and then he just took his precious car and then
Doug,
disappeared.
that's something that we're gonna get into here now, because I want to connect it to Travis. Which, when did Travis become the block captain, the leader, the one that the people go to talk to the military?
Yeah,
when did that happen?
That to me is, I think that was when, actually I think that started when he started being a leader, when he went to Doug and trying to calm him down and saying, this is your family needs you and all that. Then, yeah.
But for me, it seemed like they were very, very talking about, like they were already kind of made it like he was the town, he was town.
Actually, when he went to the government, Travis went to the government, tried to tell something, but one of the military said, "Not my problem. If you want to be there, go ahead, Governor. Go right ahead."
Oh, he called him he called him the mayor, which I think that's I'm sorry, this is JazzHandss conspiracy theory right now. I think that's going to be foreshadowing for him actually becoming a character like the governor. There's nothing to say otherwise. Okay, so I also think that it just seemed weird to me that all of a sudden this quote unquote kind of passive guy that has kind of been trampled on and had, everybody's kind of said he hasn't had a backbone. Big Boss Paul, Anna, they are all like, he doesn't have a backbone. He doesn't really have a backbone. He doesn't have a backbone.
I agree with that. He really don't have a backbone.
But then where did he become, this leader? Where did that come from? There was no real kind of evolution of it. And I guess you could kind of argue that Rick really didn't have a lot of evolution in becoming a leader. He was just kind of appointed leader when he showed up.
That's what I'm thinking right now. Right now, he just one of the appointed leaders. If you care so much, go ahead, take the lead.
But it was still with Rick, you got to see that, hey, he got these people out of here, so they kind of did. They looked to him as a leader after that. They say he saved them, so they were kind of okay, this guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. Did Travis really? I don't.
Travis
he just talk to. I mean, he's a face, but
he could mostly to me. I know Travis. He's good, talking to people, trying to calm them down. But leading, to me as a leader, he's probably not really the best. I would say the best leader right now. Because to me, he never shown to me he's the leading part, how to maybe survive or
exactly. There's been no real build up of him becoming a leader. There's nothing. He was just, I'm a leader.
Yeah.
And you can definitely tell with him that there are two sides to the people that are captive that we were talking a little bit about earlier, how they were kind of going up against it, where Maddie is, she's like, oh yeah, you're just going out and playing with your army buddies and stuff like that and being this big old mayor and whatever, and there's other stuff going on, blah 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 blah, and it's when did that happen? Now, if it goes from where it's he is he's a fall guy.
Fall guy, yep.
Fall guy, kind of hey, we'll take one of these guys, these kind of pushover guys, because he's going to be the one to say the military's fine. The military will take care of this. The military, I have full faith in the military. They are going to get us out of this. They are going to help us, and he will be the one to calm them down.
How long would we stay with the military? Because it's so many until you can stay with the military long until things hit the fan. That's when you have to,
Yeah, well, I definitely think they're going to run into a walker horde at some point, because this was one of the episodes too. We didn't see a walker or a zombie or an infected.
Until Madison left out the thing and saw all the dead, but
But they weren't alive. They were just dead bodies.
Dead bodies. Yeah.
Dead bodies. And I bet you if they found her out there, they would have shot her. But there was no walkers, so no walkers. I mean that was
But it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one soon.
Oh, I think we're gonna find a mega horde. I think in LA there's gonna be a mega horde. I think that's gonna happen. But yeah, there was so much that kind of happened in this episode, and definitely it all kind of revolved around a little bit of the military. And at the end, you could definitely
also with
tell.
the military, with the little agent that was going around
We're gonna get to her.
We're
gonna get to her. We're trust me, we're gonna get to her because there's a lot to talk about with her.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just so much to kind of talk about with the military and what they did and what they didn't do and different sort of stuff like that. And I think we're going to take a quick break here.
All right.
And we will be back right after this with some more theories, what we thought, what we liked, what we didn't like about the episode. And I think we covered the military stuff. And now we're definitely going to move on. And we'll see. So stay tuned because we will be back.
Fear the Dead Air is taking a little break. Don't worry, we'll be back. Like the dead rising, we are back. You are listening to Fear the Dead Air, only on 89.5 The Wave.
That is right. You are listening to Fear the Dead Air here on 89.5 The Wave, and I am your host, your friendly neighborhood DJ, JazzHandss, and I am joined with the one, the only.
Kaji, y'all.
DJ Kaji in the house, and we were talking about last Sunday's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode, which was titled Not Fade Away, because there was a lot that happened that could fade away, and I think it definitely had to deal with some of the people fading away and disappearing. Sorry, I had to move the mic just a little bit. Fading away and everything like that. So, also, like I said earlier, and Kaji didn't believe me, did not believe me, but I did it. Go to facebook.com/STLDeadAir because I posted the lookalike poster of young Johnny Depp and Frank Dillana. Dylan? Dillana? Dillana? Yeah, Frank Dillana from The Walking Dead, young Johnny Depp as I like to call him. Side-by-side picture. Take a look at it. It's
a little bit better. Everybody, just a little bit like Johnny Depp, not all the way.
It looks a lot like it, dude. Don't even give me that. Don't even give me like. Oh yeah, it looks a little like. No, that is him. Like if something, God forbid, happened to Johnny Depp, this guy would play him in the movie, like in his like biography. Like, yeah, I don't want anything to happen. That's a whole zombie for a different day, but that could totally happen. That. They look so similar. So go to, like I said, facebook.com/STLDeadAir and like it if you do think. And actually, you know what? I'll like the page and write some stuff down. Let me get your opinion. Do you think he looks like it or not? And we will see if he does or not. And I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear what all of you think. Does this look like him or not? So check that out because that is fun. Anyway, back to the episode. To the episode because there was so much going on. There's I think definitely some wariness about the military, like we were talking about earlier. Yeah. And I'm gonna kind of like retract something because earlier I said me and Boss Paul were talking. And we don't necessarily know if there's other groups of people or other camps out there, 12 other safe zones, but there has to be some more because Agent, what was her face? Agent,
what do you call her? Doctor, what?
Doctor, hold on. Dr. Bethany.
Bethany, there we go.
I am so sorry. But, man, okay. She came in and it was clear that she was kind of like a doctor and there was a little bit of she was stoking out the place and...
Yeah. Kind of like to me like a FBI, maybe CIA or something like that, trying to...
Something like that. She was definitely digging. And what I think, this is just me, what I think her job is going to be is, oh, you're sick. Well, we're going to take you to the hospital, try to get you well. Mm-hmm. But the hospital's going to be, can we help him? No. Okay, let's kill him. I mean, it looks like...
That's the same thing like the dude, like, what's his name?
Oh, snap.
He told one about, he told about his family, like they said, they're going to special place, not really. Like,
the Salazars.
Daniel
Salazar. Yeah, Daniel Salazar was talking about them going to a special place. And, now that I think about it, remember season, what was it, 4?
Before, yeah.
Season 4 with Beth in the hospital?
Yeah.
Or whatnot? Yeah. It looks like maybe when stuff did start to fall apart, a lot of the military and cops and stuff took over hospitals.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's a little line up because these people have this hospital kind of taken and they're using it and trying to stay alive and everything like that. And it's I think hospitals were one of the places that if we see them through, and if we see other places, maybe all the military or all the kind of cops and stuff took over a hospital.
Yeah, hospital.
Because, I mean, realistically, hospitals are probably the worst place to go in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
Worst place. But if you could fortify it and make it safe, you're set for a while.
For a good while.
For a good while. You got medicine, you got food. You're good for a while. Good for a while. So, but, okay. Then let's talk about poor David, was it?
David or Doug. It was David or
Doug?
Doug. Yeah, Doug.
David or Doug. Poor David or Doug. I'm horrible with names. I apologize. And I looked him up on the IMDb. Could not find a single thing. About him. I'm sure he's there, but anyway, I digress. What do you think? Like,
well, with me, I understand he was freaking out. He was like panicking because he didn't know what to say to his family. Like, is it okay? Is it really safe? He really had no answer because he was like, really, he was breaking down for real. He was. Yeah,
well, I think anybody would kind of break down under those circumstances. Like, you don't know what this is. This isn't like, oh, Ebola, we've had some cases of it. Like, this is a whole new sickness. Nobody knows what's going on. Yeah. And, I mean, he freaked. He freaked out, and I'm wondering if there is more that we might find out a little bit later.
Even though Travis tried to talk to him out, as a friend, try to talk to him,
and I think that's where, too, what I was saying a little bit earlier of the military kind of using him, I think that's what's going to come into play, where he's one of the ones that, because he's, quote-unquote, kind of blindly following the military, he's, and that's just my opinion, but he's very much one to kind of calm everybody down and kind of calm. What's that noise? Oh, it's nothing, guys. It's the military will handle it. So, I mean, people like that kind of blindly follow are probably very, very valuable, especially in a situation like this where they don't want to spread wide panic. They don't want people traveling, going from place to place to try to find loved ones or whatnot. So,
but that's a good strategy. That would be a military strategy right there, trying to use somebody to.
And I'm wondering if that's going to come back and either, bite him in the butt, or if it's just going to have something to do with something. I feel something's going to definitely kind of happen to where, I mean, who knows? So, but it does seem, because Doug disappeared.
I mean, seriously, he said his wife was looking for him, went to Travis' house, like, have you seen Doug? He mostly took his precious car and just drove off. And then Travis went out to go look for him. He saw the car.
Yeah, I think and that again kind of makes the military's motives a little bit more questionable.
Yeah.
About what are they doing? Like, he tried to escape clearly, and they probably more than likely shot him. I think we know that they shot him.
Yeah.
We saw that. So, definitely some shady stuff going on within the government. Yeah. Just a little bit. Now, I mean, you could throw that back and forth. Like, he disappeared, and maybe we'll see him at the hospital next week's episode, or this upcoming Sunday's episode, or maybe they did just kill him and got rid of, because it seems like the military, when Madison went out, is a very, this is the safe zone. Anything outside the safe zone.
Went out to go see what's his Travis' son was talking about to buy.
The light. Yeah. I wanted to kind of get to that, too. What do you think was the light?
I think that was mostly like this. When I seen like this one, I was thinking about the old movie, Shaun of the Walking Dead, when they, try to do little signals, try to say they're alive. I think he was alive, and he mostly trying to signal saying, "Here, I'm still alive. You can come get me."
I don't know. It could be very. And I'm really glad that the episode didn't go this way, because I thought that the one son, what was his name? It was. I got like the list right in front of me, and I'm looking for. Is it Chris?
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. I really thought the episode was going to kind of turn, and I'm glad it didn't turn from. He's going to sneak out, which I did not expect Madison to, but I thought he was going to be the one to sneak out and actually head to the house to see who it was, and we were going to get our first full death because he was going to find a walker that was just kind of there reflecting a little bit of light because he got, like, it hung itself or got trapped or whatever. I really thought that was going to happen, so I'm kind of glad it didn't go that way.
Oh, yeah.
That way.
But at least I'm glad at least Madison went out, at least, she watched herself try to...
Yeah, well, because Madison is much more, and this is where the two also divide, and it played a lot throughout this episode, where Madison either goes from 0 to 60 in like no time whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
Where like Travis is, everything's gonna be okay, and she's like, well, I don't trust it. But then she's like, well, let's repaint the house. Let's kind of do this, and I think it's definitely her mind trying to keep busy because there is such messed up stuff going on in the world right now. So she's very trying to kind of keep busy, but she's also curious, and that could lead. I mean, we've all known that, you know,
like they'll say, curiosity killed the cat. So she's
curiosity killed. Who died in The Walking Dead because of curiosity? Joke failed. Joke totally failed. Okay, so anyway, so yeah, she's definitely, I think she's one of the more ones to kind of question it, and that's kind of going to be interesting. And if she gets a little bit too nosy or too questionable, will she be taken away like
that's one
the
thing
others?
Too. Luckily, I'm surprised that the military didn't see her when she was coming up to the hills. And
what was up with that?
It's
like she was walking up the hill, and she saw the military, and because she saw the military had to have seen her.
Oh yes, they had to see.
I mean, they're out.
The only thing is, unless it's a very high hill and you can't really see, like, you know, the person coming up. I mean,
I mean, there's that, but I mean, you never really know. You know, so it's. I mean, who knows what that whole dealio was? It was definitely weird, but I think she's definitely kind of seeing that. Oh, it's dangerous out here.
Oh yeah,
it's dangerous.
And then she did tell one of the X-Men like this. I asked him, "What did you saw?" She's like, "Well, I saw dead bodies. Do you know everybody looked affected? Like, you know, talk to one of the guys, like, you know, one of the." What is it, Adrian?
The Salazar?
The Salazar,
yeah. Daniel Salazar.
And then Salazar. And then one thing is, to me, is it's kind of interesting. Even though he feels like he's a guy who he's been through wars and knows actually what's going to go on.
Yeah. I mean, because it happened in his home country, and this was now confirmed. Where in his home country, something not The Walking Dead, not like zombies breaking out. That would be a different story. That'd be an interesting story if it happened like years and years ago, and the government covered it up and stuff, and you know, conspiracy theories from JazzHandss. But you know, it's been confirmed that stuff like this happened. People started disappearing in these safe communities, and you know, everything like that. And I think it was one of the more powerful scenes where he was talking to Madison. Right?
He's talking to Madison.
Yeah, he was.
Talking to Madison,
him and Madison had a really good scene, and I really liked that he was just kind of like, you know, my father always said, "Oh, it's going to be okay. The military is following. You know, the military will take care of us. The military will take care of us."
Travis saying that.
And that's what Travis was saying. But then he also said, "That's the day I realized that my father was a coward."
The only thing is, do you think Travis is going to be a coward too?
I don't know, and that's where he's either going to be a coward or he's going to turn into something worse. Who knows what's going to happen now? It is one of those blank slates.
Just Jamie, like, wants the good, you know, tips, telling him like this. Whatever happens, if, you know, they say go to a special place, but he told him, do not believe that. And also, keep your son safe. Always keep him right next to you.
Yeah, because I think there could be more to the story that he might have had a son that either left, or maybe he himself was taken away to one of those special camps away from his father, and it turned him cold.
That's what I'm thinking like this. Maybe, you know, he's trying to tell her, like, this is just the only beginning. It's going to get much worse. So always, like, try to keep your family very close.
Yeah, that's clear. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that's very, very clear that something like that, of that caliber, has happened to him. Mm-hmm. You know, Madison, I think, is kind of on the right path to looking into what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And we got to talk about this thing because we're going to take another break here, and then we're going to finish up the episode. But Madison had such a beautiful scene.
Oh yes.
And I want to talk about this too a little bit. Okay, Nick sneaking in and stealing the people's drugs.
Yeah. Up to me is Nick. To me, that episode when he just stole the old dying man. This, what was it, morphine or whatever?
Yeah, it was morphine to kind of keep him like comfortable while he passed.
Are you serious? Are you that's cold-hearted? That's gonna take a die? I'm like, he don't like this to me. Hope he dies. I hope he dies. I don't care. I hope he just.
And the thing is, he's not going to. He is not going to be the one to die. I hope he dies next week, but he is not going to be one of the ones to die. That little SOB is going to stick around forever.
And you know what the happy thing is? Manson beat the living snot out of him.
Oh, yeah. Like, honestly, that was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Like, me and my brother cheered for that. That was the only time I got real pumped up throughout the series so far, was because he deserved it. And once when Madison found out, that's where I say this was a very Madison episode. It made me like Madison a little bit more, you know, of her kind of conflicts, her... I do think that her questioning and doing stuff kind of Scooby-Doo-like is going to get her in trouble.
Yeah.
That's going to get her in trouble. I don't think it's smart to go out alone. I don't think it's kind of good to investigate. However, I do like that finally she's like, with everything else that's going on, you're going to steal these poor people's drugs just to kind of get high. And she smacked the snot out of him. And it was beautiful. She's like, you don't get it. You don't get it. And I was like, yeah, you tell him because he doesn't get it. You can't do this anymore. You can't be a jerk like that. It was such a beautiful scene. It was, and it needed to happen. And I'm really hoping that because of this, it's going to make her not baby him anymore.
I almost said, like, don't baby him. If you choose it, let him choose it. It's his decision. You helped him long enough. Let him go.
Well, you cradled him. Now it's like time. You coddled him for most of his life, and you know it's like, oh, he's doing drugs. I'll get him pills, and I'll risk my life to, you know, get him wean him off of it, And now it's like, no, this is a different situation. You can't be doing this, and I'm not going to baby you anymore, and I'm going to put my foot down. However, when the doctor, because I think the doctor that came in, Dr. Bethany, is very smart.
Oh yeah.
Very, very, very smart. I mean, she knew that Nick was playing her right from the beginning. Just like, your heart's kind of elevated. And from a military standpoint, that was good.
Yeah.
Like, because I like, this is where this is getting kind of juicy and interesting. The back and forth between these characters are fun because it's like, oh, okay, so the military, you can see where they're coming from to try to keep people safe, but they're also doing some shady stuff, and the people are questioning it, but then they're also exploring being stupid, being very, very kind of stupid, and in these sorts of situations, you don't want somebody that is a drug risk, that does drugs, that steals people's drugs, because we lost kind of contact with everybody else. We don't know what's going on. We're trying to contain it. We're trying to figure it out, but we have limited supplies. We don't want a drug addict sneaking in doing this stuff. So it would not surprise me if Nicholas somehow is going to get a quote-unquote military murder or whatever real quick. And like, not die, but almost.
And then also I want to see about, like, when Travis' ex-wife told him about he have morphine, so like, really? You gonna really tell Madison's little son you got morphine, even though with all the situation?
Yeah, well, I mean, Madison's ex-wife, who is named Liz?
Yeah, Liz.
Yeah, Liz. She was, I think, I'm kind of starting to like her a little bit. Like, because she's not a doctor, but she's trying
to be very helpful as much as possible.
And realistically, and if you could tell, Dr. I keep forgetting that name. Bethany. Dr. Bethany. Thank you, Kosh. Dr. Bethany said, okay, well, we need you. Yeah. Keep it up. Keep doing this. Yeah. And that's clear that their resources are stretched very,
but the main is
very
that,
thin.
At least she could tell his son, like, you know, Chris, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to help out. Right now, just stay with your father, stay with the family.
Well, she did.
She did?
She did. She mouthed it from the window. She went, I have to go. I love you. I have to go. You could see that. And so that was her telling him.
But I'm missing, like, more, like, you know, she did, like, more hugging than, could just did, like, you know, more emotional than just walk out maybe like that, try to.
Yeah, well, I mean, she had to go. It was, if you're getting on, you're getting on. If not, no. And I think she definitely went with the military to try and keep an eye on Nick. To keep an eye on Nick. She wanted to keep an eye on that, you know, little SOB to make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble.
The only thing is, after that, I think Madison got pissed off. I think she was going off to like she's about to kill her right now like this. Okay.
Yeah, well, because Madison, and this is where I either love her or I hate her, because she's so confusing to where she's like, oh, I don't want my son to go out here. I she'll smack the, crap out of him, but it's also kind of like she's going to coddle him and she doesn't know. Like, it's very confusing, and I could kind of understand both perspectives. She's frustrated with him, but still the military shouldn't take him away, but then the military... There's a whole lot of different sides that I could see, and I think.
Then one of the officer husband was trying to go with his wife, which now I don't know.
Yeah, because we definitely need to kind of cover the Salazars and how Travis kind of messed them up. The Salazars going with them, and there's still so much more that we kind of got to cover and talk about a little bit. But we're going to be doing that right after this quick little break here on 89.5 The Wave. We shall be back.
Fear the Dead Air is taking a little break. Don't worry, we'll be back. Like the dead rising, we are back. You are listening to Fear the Dead Air, only on 89.5 The Wave.
That is right, we are back with Fear the Dead Air here on 89.5 The Wave, and I am your host, your friendly neighborhood DJ, JazzHandss, and I am joined with...
Kaji, this is your boy Kaji, DJ Kaji.
Your boy Kaji, and we're hanging out talking about last Sunday's epic Fear the Walking Dead episode. Now, I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. I believe that Frank Dillana looks a lot like young Johnny Depp. And you can kind of vote and put your opinion and like it now. I got a picture up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/STL Dead Air. You can go and vote and see if he looks a little bit like a young Johnny Depp or not. And let me hear your opinion, your thoughts, your ideas. Let me know what you think. So, boom. Okay, we got that. Now we're going to kind of dive into, I'm going to have to give this one to Big Boss Paul. He was completely right. They are going to get one military guy to go with them, and it looks like it's going to be the Salazar's daughter's new beau.
Yeah.
They got very, 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 very comfortable with each other very, very quick.
Oh, no, the first one, yeah. Yeah, they're kissing, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and it seems like he's going to be the one military man at the end, and I can kind of see this going this way, where he's going to be the one military man at the end to come in and tell them, yeah, we've lost, it's just us and maybe a couple other places. We've lost contact with everybody. He's going to be the one to where when stuff does hit the fan, he's going to know what is kind of going on. He's going to be the one that knows.
Got the info. He got all the info. So that's good news. They know they got the info. They know where to go to and everything.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they know where to go to. He's going to be the one to tell them, yeah, it's a lot bigger than people have been making it out. Well, it's a lot bigger than we've been making it out to be. So, that one's for you, Boss Paul. Congratulations. We hope that prediction comes true. So now on to
now the Salazars about the wife and
the Salazars. Yeah, and the wife. Like, it's clear that she is doing bad. She is doing very, very bad. I don't think I think next episode.
The next episode, she's just gonna either get the foot gonna cut off. With what I mean, she can't really go anywhere or do anything.
Well, Herschel got his leg cut off, and he was he kicked ass till the very end.
Okay,
he kicked ass. So
that's what I wanted. 50%. Maybe she can do something.
Yeah, strap a machine gun to her leg, walk around. But that's neither. That's besides the point. I could see it being because it's infected and there's nothing they can do instead of cutting it off. I could see her dying, and if this is a little prediction, I could see her dying, and somehow maybe Travis and the Salazars and stuff actually do make it up to the hospital and find her dead. And I think that's going to break Daniel.
To me is, Mike go to the hospital, but to me is he's going to be dead, or then she's going to say her probably last final words to her husband and family. And
yeah, I think this might be the one quote unquote death that we're going to get that will try to hit home.
Yeah,
something's going to happen, something's going to escalate, and I think this show is doing beautifully at actually escalating it up.
Oh yeah.
definitely kind of escalating it up and ramping everything forward. There's a lot with the government that's going on that we don't know. I mean, the one guy that was playing golf, which that was governor type stuff.
Yeah.
That was maybe foreshadowing. I don't know. That was just way too similar. But he was playing golf.
I can tell you, that was the only time to get to wind down. Sometimes some people like getting golf to wind down or something like get their mind off.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. It was just, I don't know. I liked that guy. He had a lot of flavor to him, and it was a nice kind of. It wasn't boring, kind of like how I found some of the characters in the earlier beginning of the series. So, I'm happy with him. The show is picking up, and it still has a way to go before it becomes really good. And I'm still waiting to be on the edge of my seat, like, oh no. This one, because with the last 3 that I had, I mean, we got 2 more episodes left after this one. Two more poor episodes left after this. And
you said poor.
Yeah. Then before we get into season 6, so I'm very, very much waiting. But the last 3 episodes seem that they took. Like, I know that the first one was 90 minutes, so that one was supposed to be a little bit longer. But this one was the last 2 have been very long and just kind of, and now we're really kind of getting into the good stuff. And I'm wanting to see definitely, a little bit more. And what do you think? What do you think Daniel's going to say when he figures out that Travis kind of messed him up? They messed up him and his family. Because Travis said that their names were something else.
Oh, yeah.
And then they said that their names were, something else as well with...
Oh, you mean when they was asking about...
When they were taking what's-her-face away, it's like, no, I'm her husband. And it's like, no, this is Salazar or something. You're this person that's been on the list.
Yeah.
You can't come. I'm wondering if Daniel's going to definitely be a little bit angry and Travis... what do you think Travis is going to do? Do you think that he's going to go... boys.
No, to me, I think Travis is gonna try like this. I understand. We're gonna calm this out. We're gonna work it out. He's gonna, try to, stay calm. Try to work it out as, I guess, most probably, like he usually do. Talk to everybody else, trying to calm, situation down and everything like that.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to, but I also think because of the end scene. Where the house that the light was coming in, he heard the gunshots.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's really starting to kind of have him sway more. Have him sway more towards I'm not trusting the government that much anymore. And I think if that happens, I could see him and maybe Mr. Salazar and his wife going to the hospital.
See, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what when he started action. To me is. He should have lived. One thing I know is like this. He should listen to his son. His son was on the right path. And now he's trying to me, and then I'm thinking he's probably like this. Should I trust the government? Should I stay on his side or just...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he kind of feels like right now. He's questioning. He's like, what's going on out there? What are they doing? I don't... Like, he just doesn't understand. He doesn't comprehend it. Like... What's going on, and I think that could lead them to actually trying to travel to the hospital where they took him and see what's going on, if they can get in, if they can get out, and I think that might lead them to the walkers dying or finding that people, if they die.
And also, if you stay close and look at the ending of the show, they did little skits about, about the 2 episodes, how it's going to be leading up and so. They're a little bit like, good 10 seconds or so.
Yeah. It's definitely ramping up. It's definitely leading up. And one more thing that I want to talk about, because we're slowly starting to run out of time, is what do you think about the daughter kind of tattooing her arm?
That was not the smartest move of all, especially what's going on.
Yeah, because this is what I said to Big Boss Paul, because we talk about this a lot, guys. We have an hour show right now that we're talking, but realistically, this goes on for hours and days and days and days of just talking about it and kind of making theories and plans and everything like that. And we could probably fill 2-3 hours of what we actually think could possibly happen. But what I think might happen is she got the tattoo thing, and she's trying to be artsy-fartsy, and I don't really like her. I don't like the daughter. I hate the daughter. No. But I'm wondering if she made the marks on her arm, to give herself the tattoo, but I'm wondering if because antibiotics or whatever, if it might get infected.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And if
Either
that's the case, it might look like a bite.
To me, one, she stabbed it up, almost looked like a bite. And two, if the government see that, she might be in even more trouble. And that means it's gonna be the family. It's gonna be in the whole deep. We'll be in deep.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna be in deep trouble. If she does do that, if that could lead her to the hospital too. I mean, there's so much speculation right now, but I'm definitely loving it. It's finally ramping up, and I am thoroughly enjoying. But I'm starting to really thoroughly enjoy Fear of the Walking Dead. It still has a long way to go, but I think it's getting there.
It's the first season, It's always, it's the first season. They're always trying to start slow, but build it up. So they're building up almost good enough.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It's a slow build, but I mean that's all the time we have now.
Yeah.
That's all the time we had. I had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
Kosh, it was chill. Hope you can make it back, man.
Okay, I can't wait to see what's going to be happening.
Oh yeah, it's gonna ramp up. It is going to ramp up. And let me know what you think. Does Frank Dillana look like Johnny Depp? Let me know. Write comments, like it. Let me know what you say. That's Facebook.
And also, I'm excited. 2 more weeks until Walking Dead coming back. So I hope you guys are being excited.
Yeah, baby. It's gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun. But thank you all for watching or tuning in. Not watching, unless you are watching, in which case, what are you looking at? But thank you all for tuning in. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun, and we will be back first thing next week to talk about if any of our predictions came true and Sunday's Fear the Walking Dead. So thank you all. It was a blast. I'm your friendly neighborhood DJ JazzHandss with
Jesse DJ Kaji right here.
And we will see you all next time.
89.5 The Wave.
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 We are 89.5 The Wave. KCFV Ferguson.